Hello, I'm Felicia Vereen, always known as Fee.
Hey Fee, and I'm your girl Sharita 3, better known as Fred.
And we are Inspire Her, the Total Woman podcast, a new podcast all about uplifting you.
Yes.
Because friends, face it, you are awesome.
We'll be chatting up about topics we love to talk about, all the things we as women must juggle every day, and the ish we complain about. But who's listening? Girl,
we'll chat about the struggle, the job, and about him. You know who we talking about.
Girl.
That boo, husband, boyfriend, ex, whatever you calling them today. Our lovely hellions, kids.
Our angels. But seriously, friends, life happens, and we don't always get a chance to talk about it. We take it on the chin and we keep it moving.
Because that's what we were told to do.
Yep.
But here on Inspire Her, the Total Woman podcast with Red and Fee, we are the friends you love to hang out with. We are here to inspire her, the Total Woman.
Yes.
Hey, it is Inspire Her with Red and Fee. Inspire Her, the Total Woman with Red and Fee. And we're here today, like she said, with two beautiful professional women who are dating over 40. Look, just because you're over 40 don't mean you lost your luster, honey. You gained some, right?
Yeah.
Right?
This is true. This is
so, ladies,
true.
we want you guys to introduce yourselves. We'll go ahead and start with Tonya. Tell us about yourself, Tonya.
Well, hi, my name is Tonya. I am currently residing in Capitol Heights, Maryland, the DMV area. I am a native from Richmond, Virginia. I met these two lovely ladies, our hosts here, longtime friends and sisters in spirit. So, sisters in spirit. I'm an educator. I've been in education for the last maybe 15 years. And I have a daughter who is grown. So I'm in a new phase of well, not that new because she's been grown for a minute. Yeah. So I'm in this independent phase of my life. So yeah, that is who I am. Some parts of who I am.
All right.
We'll learn some more a little bit later.
Absolutely.
All right, Raven, you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Raven. I'm a Pisces. No.
Tanya Pisces. Well, we got two Pisces.
We got two Pisces. What?
I knew. When's your birthday?
March 18th.
Oh, you're a March Pisces. Okay, I'm March 2nd too. Yeah, so yeah, I knew I felt your energy.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a Pisces, and I live in Chester, Virginia, and I work in the mental health field. I don't know. I would say, I guess I have to describe myself. I'm like a little wild child, at heart. Definitely have, different parts. I can be very professional, very quiet or reserved at times. But, if you get to know me well, you get to see the real wild side of me. And that's the side I like the best. So, yeah.
That's the good side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Well, ladies, I think this came about. Raven and I were hanging out the other day, and we talked a little bit about dating over 40 and being a professional. Tell us about y'all experiences of dating in this dating field.
Raven, you go first.
Okay. Well, it's been some good stuff. It's not so good. It's okay. It's really what you make it. You really have to have a positive attitude, I believe. It's all about, I guess not being too rigid in your thinking, the way you think, even in your behavior. But it's a lot of nuances. But, if you want to be in a relationship, if you want to be partnered, you have to date. So you got to play the game.
Okay. Absolutely. Tanya?
My go? Okay. Felicia, why are you looking at me like that?
I know, right? I just say.
That's what we're not going to do.
Yep, no, I can't have my facial expressions.
So, it is it's different. It's different. It's different than when I was younger. So, I've never been married, for different reasons. So this has been, part of my life, and it's just different. It's different. I don't know if the dating has changed or if I've changed. So, and I think it may be a combination of the two. Well, I'm pretty certain it is, and probably more me changing than the dating scene. So it's been, it's a journey. It's a journey. It's a journey. And me trying to take it in from when I was in my 20s to now, over 40. I'm gonna say over 40 to now being over 40, it's just I'm in a different place.
So how important is it? Different. I keep hearing the word different. I want to know what makes it different from when we were in our 20s and 30s to now. And I know you said open-minded, and I saw a note come across from Peggy saying you definitely have to be open-minded. But what's different? Because I know we had some fun dating. So what's different? What you smiling about, Tonya? What is? And Peggy said you better have good research skills.
That part.
But what makes it so different, guys? Come on now, we're gonna get it all out. We're gonna get it all out.
Look, I just threw my leg up on my chair. So yes, I think what makes it different from me, like when I was in my 20s and 30s, right? In my 20s, I dated strictly for fun. It was fun. It was about having a good time.
The whole phase.
I didn't care.
She keeps talking about that whole phase, y'all.
Now wait a minute, hold on.
She just called you a hoe, Tonya.
But wait a minute, her definition of whole phase is totally different.
Right. That's right.
Exactly. I know this one. So it was about having fun. Like I think the most probably that, if someone lasted 6 months, they were good.
6 months.
Right. No, that's true.
If they lasted 6 months, that was a major feat.
Yeah, and sometimes it was just a date. Yeah. I mean, it might just lasted one date.
I agree. Yeah, it was like more for fun, or I feel like I had more fun. Like dating like multiple people, at the same time, just having like a good time. I feel like, because you have more energy, you can actually date multiple people, go out on multiple dates with different people, during the week.
Hold on, did you say more energy?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not even talking about, and so I guess when I say that, I'm saying dating, I'm not even talking about like sex. I'm just saying like actually going out, doing things, because like those were the type of dates I was going on. I mean, just going different places, bowling, going to the carnival.
You had to have sex with everybody.
Movies, oh, no. Yeah. Like I dated plenty of people that I didn't, have sex. We may have went out once or, twice or whatever and never slept together. But I think the patience, like energy part too. I mean, like probably even like the mental energy or patience. I would love to date like multiple people at a time now, but I don't like enough men at the same time to date more than one person. Like, I don't know. I feel like my tolerance is like a lot lower. You're younger. You're a little bit more optimistic. Excuse my language. Nobody has time for that shit. Now.
Right. So how important it is for you guys to know who you are first before you start to date? Because a lot of people, we talked about this the other day, Raven. A lot of people just don't know who they are. And I tell people you have to date, because that's, especially the younger girls, date, because that's how you learn about yourself, what you like, what you don't like. Right. You get to know yourself by dating other people.
I think
that's so true.
I think I feel like, I don't know, like I kind of know who I am. I don't like, even when I was dating, right? I didn't necessarily need to date to figure out who I was. I knew in my 20s I was doing it to have a good time. I know I had my daughter in my 20s too, right? So that kind of made it a little bit different.
Raven got some hateration going on. Raven don't like nobody.
I already know who that is.
I know, but why you don't like nobody, Raven?
I'll address. Look, if I feel like it, I'll address that person later.
Okay.
Wait a minute, Tonya. I want to hear the rest of what Tonya was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think I was kind of saying, like, I already knew who I was. I didn't necessarily date to try and figure out who I was. I knew who I was. Like, so in my 20s, I was dating to have fun. Then I had, like I said, I had my daughter young.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of changed the landscape for a bit. That changed the landscape for, I guess, quite a bit, because then it turned into purpose. So it was no longer for just sheer enjoyment. I was with her father and for quite some time. And when that didn't work out, I moved into another fairly long-term relationship, and it was all for purpose, because during that phase of my life, what I thought I needed was to try and build a family. So, like, I thought that's what it was about, right? And I was seeking that. So when that didn't work out and that part of, the experience ended, it then became about me. It became about me, right, and me feeling my own personal desires.
So what do you guys think
more
is an
so
approach?
than wait a minute. So I think more so than knowing who you are, you had to know who you wanted. Like, you had, like, I think dating in the 20s and even in the early 30s, like, you didn't really know, like you said, Tonya, you thought that you needed to settle down, but you really, at the end of the day, didn't want to do that. So it was just about knowing, you knew who you were, but you didn't know who exactly you wanted to end up with, to be with.
Agreed.
That's the thing that I think you figure out as you go along.
And then if I could add to that, to like answer part of that question, I don't think you, like Tonya was saying, she didn't feel like she needed to date to figure out, who she was. I don't think I needed to do that either, and so, like, this is something, I don't know if we talked about this, Sharita. I think we may have like touched on a little bit. I'm a therapist like Sharita. I feel like once you get into not even a relationship with someone, the closer you get to someone intimately, a lot of like your stuff starts to fly out. Like, when it comes to like how you were raised, down to how you communicate, how you view conflict, how you handle conflict. Like, those things come out the closer you get to someone. So I feel like even though you may not go into dating trying to find yourself, you will. Like, you're kind of forced to, because you have to confront some pieces of yourself you may not have known that was there, because you get into like this close space with another human being. And it's not just somebody that you like pass by on the street. You get into conflict with somebody on the street, you flip them off and you keep driving. But this is somebody that you actually like. You want them to stay in your life. So you like are forced to find ways to compromise and, unlearn, poor social behaviors, learn some new ones. So I think you're forced to learn about yourself. And so I would say that was probably like, that's been my experience, not kind of knowing who I am, as a woman, but then learning more about who I am and what I need in terms of like partnership. So that's like my take on that.
Yeah. You know what? Since you put it in that,
right,
in that framework, I agree with that. Definitely.
So do you think women, or do you guys, what do you think is like a reasonable amount of time? I know it's almost like as much time as you need, but some people like jump from a relationship to relationship to relationship without kind of processing what happened and what didn't work in this relationship to try not to do it again in the next relationship. Do you think a lot of people kind of take the same old foolishness to relationship to relationship to relationship?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, they can. I
Especially if you
mean,
don't actively try to like kind of figure out what your part is. Because like a lot of people are not don't hold themselves accountable for like
Mm.
the things that they do. Like, so I hear, like I know sophisticated dummies is, in the chat, and I'm sure I know which dummy it is that made that comment about me. But somebody, they were like, and they always talk about like relationships on their podcast a lot. And somebody was like saying some things in the comments, saying like what they needed like women to do and all this stuff. And I was just like, we always have standards for other people and don't have any for yourself. Like that is
Mm-hmm.
so twisted. You have all these standards for somebody else and absolutely none for yourself. And you gotta have some. And so you will have people who will leave a relationship, and villainize the other person. That person could have been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But you could have played a partner terror by staying with that person for so long or enabling them or, whatever. But, people don't want to learn lessons. They just want to like find something new, move on and think that like,
To
oh,
the
I
next
can find
thing.
a better man or a better woman and it'll be different next time. And then it's not because you're showing up with the same stuff.
Yes, yes. Do you guys have to be
I
evenly
agree with
yoked
that.
with your partner or future mate? You have to be evenly yoked financially,
I think
spiritually.
so.
No, I want
My
him to have more money than me.
yeah,
You want to have more money, right?
I heard that. Like my ex used to tell me that, and I didn't quite get it. I didn't get it, and I was in my, like I said, I was in my 30s, and I didn't quite get it. I used to be like, I used to fight like when he used to tell me that. I'm like, what do you mean? We're here in the
Tell you
same
that you got.
space. Yeah, we're in the same space. We're doing this. We're in the same
Mm-hmm.
house. You know what I'm talking? Who I'm talking about? And I didn't quite. I'm like, what are you talking? I didn't get what they were saying. Because me myself, I hadn't had a lot of serious relationships. They were. I just, you know, I was doing me up until for a while, and I hadn't had these serious relationships. So when they used to say that, well, when he used to say that, I didn't quite get it. But with age, with experiences, like you're saying, Raven, and maturity, I wholeheartedly get it now. I wholeheartedly get it. And it does matter. I think it
Mm-hmm.
does matter. I think it matters emotionally. I think it matters physically. I think it matters financially, and spiritually. I think it matters to be yoked. I don't want you to mimic me. I don't want anyone like me. But
Mm.
I want yeah, I don't need me. So but I think there needs to be more commonalities than not.
Right.
I
Now,
agree.
we're talking about dating over 40. So tell me, what do y'all need now? What do you
Mm.
look for? What is it that you want in a man now?
Okay.
Now we
That's
want to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yes.
What
What you
do
want in a
you
man?
what do
so
you need, want, pre-
okay.
prefer?
Okay. So like I was saying earlier, right? I dated to have fun and so forth. Da, da, da. Then I will move to a phase where I dated to build a family. Now, are we using like real language on here and all that
You
good stuff?
this
So
you
at
know
Yeah.
we
this
stayed
point,
we stayed no holds barred on this
so at
show.
Right.
this point, I don't need shit, right?
Mm.
I have my own house. I have
Mhm.
a good job. I have my good insurance.
That good insurance.
Good insurance. I have a good
I'll date
government
you.
insurance.
I'll date you, Tonya.
Good government insurance.
Are we making a little connection? and you're the problem. Right. And see, and that's why men are gonna be like, oh, well, she don't need nothing from me.
That's not where I'm going.
But that's their mindset. That's their mindset. Because they look at,
that's an immature man's mind.
That's something that they have to get over.
Exactly.
Over that.
That's not my issue.
Insecurities, right?
Yeah, that's not my issue. That's not my issue. So, whereas when I was in
you
my
don't tell
20s
them
and
I don't
30s,
need nothing from you.
I don't know. I don't say that, but you can look around and see it. so like things that
a man will see where he can fit in your life, even in that house you have with that nice insurance. A man is like he can know where he can fit in your life. I don't like using the term real man. I don't want to like offend anybody, but like a man that's a man, he knows where he can fit into your life, whether you got money, whether you have it all or not, because that's just financial.
But something that you said, Raven, you said when we were together hanging out, you said you have to be able to find that man that's going, because you settled in your life. Why am I going, what do you need to bring to the table for me to give up my lifestyle? You're going to have to come correct. You can't just, hit your blow.
Right. Like, and I know we always talk about, like, I think, Tonya, you weren't finished. Because I know you were going, somewhere, but like you're talking about like the financial, aspect, or whatever. But so you kind of I do need to know what you bring. Like, what am I giving up my singlehood, for? I can like go as I please. I can do, what I want. I don't have anyone, to answer to, because honestly, when I am in a relationship or when I do, get married, I'm not going to move, the same. I'm not going to change who I am, but I'm not going to move the same. Like Sharita knows, I'll book a flight on Sunday and leave that 3 days, later, because I can do that. I don't have, I don't have no boss to report to, and I don't have, a husband at home, so if I'm going to change the type of life that I have where I can kind of go as I please, live freely, I'm not going to give that up just to be able to just have a spouse. I'm going to have a partner that I can build an amazing life with. And that's just going to be it. That I'm not going to, walk away, from that. I'm not going to trade that for something mediocre.
Right.
And you don't like nobody either.
I agree with that.
I do.
But we still haven't heard Tonya, what do you want?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
you said you don't need all
that.
What do you want?
To Raven's point, right? That part, I think that's been the issue for me. I'm not willing to give it up. If I want to get on the plane on Sunday, then that's what I want to do. That's what I'm gonna do. And I need a strong enough man to be okay with that. I mean, if the trust is there, if you know me, I shouldn't have to change anything about me to be with you. Because I came, so for me, and maybe that, and I'm probably maybe what you may call an alpha female, maybe a little bit.
Kind of, just a smidget.
Watch it, Sharita. Maybe just a little, maybe just a smidgen, right? Because I come as my authentic self, right? I come as myself. Like, if I feel like cooking, I'm not in the kitchen cooking any meals, because that's not what I do. I can't cook, but if I feel like it, that's what I'll do. But I'm not sitting there making you steaks and doing all of that. Because if I wasn't doing it from the beginning of my life, I'm not gonna fake it and do it to get you. So I'm not doing any of that. I like to go out. I like a good happy hour. I like hanging out with my friends. I like traveling, and I'm not willing to compromise those things for anybody. So if he can't deal with that, then he's not the guy for me.
Well, you might find a man that likes to do those things too.
There's plenty of them out there.
She would need to.
Yeah,
she would need to. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah. Well, see, I think that's where you and I differ, Tonya. I do like to hit the street, be with my friends, take trips and all that. But when I say that I don't, want to give that up for just anyone. The type of, and I guess to answer your question too, Felicia, you was like, oh, what you looking for, like in a relationship or whatever. I do want a man that will make me want to stay home. Not because like, oh, I got to listen to him or nothing like that, but because that's just where I want to be. I want to be, with him. So, and I wouldn't mind. I mean, I'm not just going to stop, like traveling and all that. Hopefully, he will go, with me.
You.
But, still definitely want to do like girls trips and stuff like that. But because I'm just like a very like family, oriented, person. So I don't really mind like sitting down and, a guy can take me off the streets, but it's just not going to be anybody. Like you're not just going to get me off the streets with, some little basic BS. It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your absolutely don'ts? What can't you put up with?
Drug use, multiple children's mothers. I am not willing to do that. When I say multiple, I mean like a dude that has like 4 kids, 3, different mothers. I'm not gonna do it. I posted, it was somebody had put something on Facebook. This was like maybe like a couple months ago. And I reposted it, and it was just saying how a woman that dates a man with, children is really, she is going to be under more stress than a man who dates a woman with children. Because they said when a man is dating a woman with children, you rarely hear a lot of baby daddy drama. When the baby daddies kind of get upset with the mom or whatever, unfortunately, a lot of them just withdraw from their lives. But it's the opposite, the other way around. Women, a lot of these, baby mothers or children's mothers, they press in and lean in, like inserting themselves everywhere. And I have seen it. I have seen it in my family. I have seen it with my friends. Like I have, like male friends or whatever that's going through that right now. They're not together. And as soon as, they just are literally using their children to kind of, press, these men. And I'm just not the type of woman that's going to deal with that. I'm just not. I'm not.
Right. I agree with you, Raven, because, and it's not, I've dealt with that when I shouldn't. I mean, I shouldn't have been with him in the first place. So
but you digress.
We all have one or two of those.
Right. We're going to move forward on that one. But because that was a hot mess. But I mean, right now, if we're talking about right now, over 40, right? And I was over 40 then. but right now, like over 40. So
what's over 40?
Watch it.
First of all, let's just keep it real. You can be over 40 and have made relationship mistakes yesterday. So,
yeah.
And I'm speaking for myself.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, like, at this point, I think I don't want to date anybody with little kids. Forget the mothers.
I don't want no babies. I don't want no babies. Don't bring me no babies. Don't bring me no babies.
Mothers. I'm not concerned about the mothers at this point. I don't want to date anybody with any little kids. I don't want to date anybody for
Somebody said, I guess they added, they added your 40.
Hold on. I know who that is too.
Dante.
Yes, it is.
problem is
Is Dante responding from two different ones?
Yes,
yes.
Dante. He's responding. Exactly. He got split. That's the Gemini in him with the
right.
Dante, you better stop heckling us.
yeah.
Sophisticated dummy is the a-hole side of him, and
you wait till I get on sophisticated dummies again.
Block
him,
Tonya.
You the 80-year-old.
Ernest say he agree with you.
Thank you, Ernest. We don't need to be. I'm not
Block
trying
the
to
dummy.
be.
No, I don't want no baby.
Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm
not doing that.
And then because toddlers be getting sick as hell. Their immune system weak.
I'm not trying to be in jump zone. I don't want to be in none of that.
I'm gonna be for real. I wouldn't say I wouldn't date somebody with small children. I love kids, so I don't like their mama.
Oh,
she might be a decent person.
Yeah, if she's decent, I mean, I'm talking about. I have seen where women are married to someone else,
wrong,
and still trying to control her children's father's household. She will not run my house. I will leave that house. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
He gonna leave the house.
What you say, Sheree?
He gonna leave the house.
That's how you really feel.
It ain't gonna happen.
How you really feel.
All right, so let's talk about that then. So you meet a man, Raven, who, since you would deal with small kids, you meet a man and he has small kids. Let's say he has I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. Maybe they 10. 11, whatever, and they have that mother that is she may not be the baby mama drama kind of woman, but she real involved. They friends, because me and my ex, we still the best of friends, and he come over the house, take care of my daughter and everything. But she kind of lean in a little bit too much.
What's too much?
At family events and all kinds of stuff. Just in the business too much. Don't give you no drama. When she come over, she be like, "Hey girl, how you doing?" She just always around for some reason. There are men at this age that have baby mamas that are their friends. They cool. They call them up, be like, "Hey, this what's going on," blah, blah, blah. Especially with the younger kids, because they still create, they still got that family connection.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do?
I mean, it just depends, because you're saying that she is still coming to family events. Well, obviously, some family member is inviting her, and so if she's still cool with the family and they want her around, I don't think that should change because I come into the picture.
No.
However, I don't know.
Well, I can speak from experience because my twins.
Come on with it. We don't. This not a I don't know podcast.
Well, I don't know. I would have to. Okay, let me just keep it real.
You got to experience it.
Obviously, I would have to experience it because you're gonna have to compromise. Somewhere. There's gonna have to be compromises. It would just, I don't know. I would just have to see, but on paper, I would be like, nah, I don't feel like doing that, because I also know that, a lot of, children's parents, they're in separate relationships and they still sleep with each other.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess that's what Peggy chimed in.
Right. Peggy chimed in to say Ray Charles know what's up with that situation, because and I agree wholeheartedly.
But that's not true because that's not true because I was around with my twins and I was around Sam's family, or my baby daddy's family, and his girlfriend was there, and it was nothing like that. I couldn't stand him, but I wanted my kids to have a relationship with them.
Listen to what you said. It wasn't not like that because you couldn't stand him. But if you would have approached him in that manner, would he have still slept with you?
No. I would no, I wouldn't have want. I wouldn't have done it.
Would he have slept with you?
Would he have?
Yes.
I can't say that. I can't answer that because I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
But one thing I can say, Sharita, you weren't showing up at the barbecues. You weren't going to all the every time they had a little event. If it was something related to the kids,
I was. Yeah, I was. And sometimes I had whoever I was dating there. And he may have had who he was dating there. So yes, growth and maturity plays a part in that too. That's what Dante said.
It does.
It's the woman.
That's true.
Yeah, and I couldn't stand him, and but I had to do that. Yeah, so
look at what Ernest said.
It happens.
What Ernest said. I know how to reach the ex if I need them. If I'm with someone out of respect for her, I'm changing those habits.
Well, I'm talking about when he said
yes.
I'm
talking about with children, not ex. I'm talking about with children. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, to be an ex, I would imagine.
He better be an ex.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't really, I don't do all that.
But how you bringing extra folks in his functions?
Right.
Exactly.
Because that's what it was. I ain't want them.
You already bringing 2 kids with you.
But they ain't his kids. That's his family. Dante, my husband has been with me over to the kids' grandmother's house and functions and stuff. So,
I'll personally drop you off, blow the horn, beep, beep, and push.
Not beep,
somewhere else I would rather be.
All right, so who's willing to tell me about a recent date that they've gone on, and how did it go? How did it work out? Where'd you meet him at? Tonya look like she inching, but Raven.
Go ahead, Tonya.
Well, that's
pleading.
I reckon that's dead silent.
I just want to know about a recent date. Where'd you meet him at? How'd it go? What kind of stuff did you talk? Because you talk about different stuff at this age. Like, how did it end up?
Recent.
Sophisticated dumb is coming for you, Tonya.
I'm going to do a name. You know what?
He already 80. How much
wow.
About it. You know what? Let's not get started on the sidebar. The side team.
Sharita, get your husband. Get your husband.
Right. Sharita being shady, her husband in the chat being shady.
Get the side team, okay?
That's all right. We're gonna come for him. We're gonna all be on his.
I'm going on sophisticated dummies now. Sometimes I just I'll be there. So I think I went on one recently. Not too long ago. It was a little while ago, not that long ago, and it was cool. We went. Actually, I had two. In the same day. And sure did. I went out for breakfast, then I went out for dinner.
Yes.
With a wheel.
And it probably was in 2 different states.
It was not. It was in the same state. Thank you.
Okay. She got flued out for dinner.
Yes.
I wish. I wish. But it was. I met him. The way we date.
Pay for dates? Do you pay for dates? You. Are you open to
in the beginning, no. Mm-hmm. But if I built a relationship with you and we're cool, and if it's something I want to do, then I'll do it. Mm-hmm. I'll do it. If it's something, if I had a means, I'll do it. So I don't mind. I'm not like man has to pay for everything. I don't think that's fair. And I had to grow to get there because a previous relationship. Yeah, y'all probably, definitely Felicia, previous relationship, Sharita, you too, that I was, in this mindset of like how my parents did it. Like my dad paid for everything. My mom only paid the cell phone bill. I mean the telephone bill. So the mortgage, and took care of us. Yes. So
That's what
But
I
as it
want.
relates
Come
to
through there.
any bills or anything, she only paid, it was CMP then. She only paid the CMP bill. That was the only bill came to the house with her name on it. And
Wow. Where
so
them men at? Do those men exist anymore?
Yeah.
so
Your
to
They
talk
daddy
still
was
about,
your
do.
mama.
They still do. Some still do.
yeah, so that was my mindset when I started dating, right? These are the expectations. I'll take care of this, but he's supposed to do this. So, I was, light loosely engaged, and that was my that was my mindset. I know I heard a bump. What the freak?
That's that dude coming back.
I know, right?
So you owe him a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
Bonnie, I know, right? Loosely engaged.
Right, Candy. Explain that one.
You better go get loose, Tonya.
So I had that mindset, and I was sharing it with an older co-worker of mine that we were cool. We were really cool. We were cool and we were close, and sharing the experiences, the problems that I was having in that relationship. And she was like, "Well, baby, you can't do it like that anymore. That was back in the old days." I said, "Huh?" And it was Miss Sally. Miss Sally said, "You can't do it like that anymore, Tonya. You have to meet a person where they are." And she told me how her and her husband did it, and they broke things up in percentages so that it was not one person taking all the brunt of the financial responsibility, that they split it, not 50-50, but it was an equitable split based on their income. Mm-hmm. So it was, 30% that they did of their take home. So one person may have been paying more than the other, but the percentage, the split was fair. So it took me a while to get that, get to that mindset, because that's not how I grew up. That's not what I saw. I saw my mom paying the telephone bill and my dad paid everything else. So after, sitting around thinking about that and processing that for some time, I started to kind of move into that mindset. And now I've adopted it. I get it. So I don't mind if it's something I want to do or an experience I want to have, if I have it, to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Dante, Sophisticated Dummy says, take a man on a date month. Has anyone done that yet? Do you guys ask, as single women, do you ask men out on dates, or do we wait for them to ask us? Crickets.
Maybe like the first one. I mean, like, I don't think a woman taking a man on a date is a big freaking deal. It's just not. And because I would
hold on, the Sophisticated Dummies keep coming for the crew.
You block.
He's coming for the whole group.
Yeah, you definitely need to block him. Look, he is calling out people's names, their specific personal situations.
Right.
He's doing too much.
You know what? He keep on playing. We're gonna bring him online. How about that?
Exactly. Loop him in.
Oh, I'm gonna send him the link.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
I tell
guys.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say, I tell guys, women taking a man on a date is not a big deal. I tell guys that if you're saying that, your girl doesn't take you out, or you've never had a woman take you out, you ain't never had no woman like you before then. Because women who like men, we do stuff, for them. It's just that simple. Like, I love buying gifts or doing little thoughtful things for people that I like, because I would do that, for people in my family, whether it be my mom or a child, in the family. I, see something and buy it, something thoughtful. I'll do the same thing for a man if I like you. If I've never bought you anything or never bought you a piece of food, baby, I don't like you.
I don't really like you.
So when you guys meet up, we did a podcast with a life coach. She was great. So one of the things was, What questions do you ask these guys on the first date? What are you asking as you dating these guys?
So I hate dating.
Can we
I
can
can't
we add
stand it.
something different into that question
Okay.
too? Because we trying to compare dating back then to now. What are you asking different than what you asked back then? What kind of things as a mature woman are you asking differently?
Mm.
I used to ask questions, right? There was a time in which felt like I had to run through this list of questions.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was getting the authentic answer and if I was seeing the authentic person.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't ask any questions. Honestly, I want you to show up as you show up because that's who you are.
Mm.
You pay
So,
attention more
Yeah.
now.
right. So you show up
Okay.
how you show up. And if it's naturally who you are is going to come out. And I don't look at it as time wasted or time anything, it's time invested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't want to tell you, because when I tell you what I want or I ask you all these questions, I'm giving you the framework of how to
Right.
respond.
Mm-hmm.
And then you coming as that person that I think you
Right.
want to
Yeah.
be.
That you think I'm supposed to. I just heard that today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not telling you, I'm at a place now. I used to do that, but I did that probably because I was looking for something, right? Or maybe I needed something. I don't need anything. So,
That's the
yeah,
second time you don't
All
say
right.
that,
Yes,
I
Tanya.
don't.
Tanya.
I
Right,
don't.
G-Ro.
That's
I
right.
don't.
Let her say
It's all
that.
about
You
what
got
I
some
want.
growing to do in that area. No, I'm just picking. Yeah, this is what you want. I'm just
It's
picking.
what I want because
What you
I
want?
needed things when in my 20s and my 30s.
Oh,
I
where she
What do
at?
needed
you
things.
want? What do you
This is
want
about what
now?
I want. I want
She answered it before.
yeah, I just want authentic. I want authenticity. I want a genuine relationship that works for me. And I
Mm-hmm.
can't
Mm-hmm.
tell it. I have no answer for that, to be honest with you. I just know it when I know it. And
Yeah.
it's
Know what
kind
it
of,
looks like.
I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say, oh, I want this and I want that,
Mm-hmm.
because then I'm leaving out all the other things that I may
Mm-hmm.
want that I don't even know I want. So I just want it to be authentic. And if I gel with you, I gel. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we, not just me. It needs to be reciprocity in that. And if we gel together, then that's what we do. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
have a framework. I don't have a roadmap. I don't have anything. I just like to go out and have fun. And we can do it again, and then maybe do it again, and then maybe do it again. Then maybe we have something there.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, You
All
concur,
right.
Raven,
What
or you
about
got
you,
something
Mm-hmm.
Raven?
different?
Well, I agree what she said as far as like I like to I don't have like a list of questions anymore. Like before, you did. I had you had like bullet points. It was like an interview. You had come in with your interview questions and all that. And I do like to just like let conversations and stuff just kind of like flow organically. I mean, I'll ask
Mm-hmm.
the standard stuff. Are you single? How many children do you
Mhm.
have? The baby on the way counts if you have one on the way.
Not the
As
baby on the way.
as the as the great as the great Leslie Jones said one time, the comedian Leslie Jones, she was saying when she meet a man, she asked him how many kids he's having. She was like, yes, a baby on the way counts. Count that one too. But like standard stuff like that. And then, yeah, just kind of like letting conversations kind of flow, organically. I mean, I don't feel like pressing nobody about no whole damn list. Because you
So
won't
we got a
lie.
question. So how's the Dante say? How's the person
Dante.
supposed? This Dante. How's the person supposed to know? Supposed to give you what you want if you don't tell them, Tanya.
I don't need to tell you. You're going to show me.
Then
That's what
you'll
I'm
get
saying.
to
I don't
that
need to
point.
tell you. Yeah, I don't need to tell you. You're going to show. If you're interested in me, you're going to show me. I don't need to tell you.
And
And
then for me,
And
she
then
said,
and then as well, you're going to your actions are going to help him understand what you need as well.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And then
yeah.
there may be some times when y'all talking in conversation, like you ask each other questions. Like he may ask you. I had a friend to ask me, what when you stressing out,
Ah,
what do you
Dante.
do? And y'all know
Mm.
I said it a couple days ago. I go to the beach and I sit still sometimes. I just have to go somewhere, get away from people. And you never know. Later on, when he feel like you stressed out, he may pick you up and take you to the beach or something. You have organic conversation. Like Tonya said, you don't have to have a list of all this stuff. You just have organic conversation. And like Ernest said,
listening. Because if you are about me, then you're listening to what I'm saying. You're looking at what I'm doing. You're taking into what I'm feeling. That's genuine. To me, that's genuine. And
but that's a level of maturity that a lot of people aren't there yet either.
Then you don't need to be with me.
That's true. Yeah, but I'm just saying, a lot of people are not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not the person for you.
Yeah.
I ain't playing.
But I think once you get to our age, if you haven't learned how to listen to people, kind of, maybe being with the right person will help you learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are not going to tell you their whole life story.
Yeah.
It's going to be learning from what I do, listening to me talk, because a lot of times, ladies, we're going to tell it all anyway, because some of us like to talk and communicate. And men, if you listen, because at this age, we don't play games no more. That's what I was going to ask y'all. Okay, so he messed up when I was in my 20s. You mess up once, okay, whatever. You mess up twice, I'm gonna give him another chance. He cute, girl. Mess up 3 times. Now, dude, what did you out with somebody else? Okay. And we supposed to be together. Now, if we just dating, that's something different. But we supposed to be together, and I ain't no other chances. I'm done. Yeah. I'm over. Yeah. I'm over the age where I'm gonna give you 50 million chances. It's not gonna happen no more.
Yeah. Lying like
so that you learn a person. You learn what you can get away with. You learn, what that person likes. Both of you. And you also learn how to communicate with that person, because that's the main thing. When we get to this age, it's like, I'm not going to take much. You're not going to be hollering at me. You're not going to be hanging up. I mean, the little stuff we used to be able to take back in the day.
Right. That we used to think was cute.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Girl, I hung up on, he called me back 5 times. No,
he showed up to my house
all night long.
I had somebody that called me back to back to back to back to back. Now in my mind, he crazy.
That is a psychopath. Yeah, that's a
you showing up to back my house.
Back in the day, you like, girl, watch this.
I was like, girl, he came, I was mad at him. I stopped talking to him, and he came to my house and brought me, A, B, and C. Don't you bring your ass to my house.
Because now I'm telling you might get shot.
Right. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Or something might surprise. You pop up, you might get a surprise.
You might.
You might. Don't do
your replacement might answer the door.
Right. Because one thing, my phone, I'm very stable, right? I've had the same phone. Well, not put this in case some crazy people listen to, but I've had the same phone number.
Tell people
for
you
like
got
20
the same
years.
number, they're gonna be calling you.
Yeah. She could put them on block.
I had like a real throwback hit me up yesterday, and that made me feel good. Like that made me feel, good. Like a throwback from college, right? I hadn't heard from him in probably like over 30 years.
Oh, he wants everything back.
And
like wait a minute. You sing? Who's singing? Because Sharita got a song for everything. Raven, you got a song for everything too.
Raven broke out in the song.
That was Raven singing? That was you.
I have a Martin line, a line from a movie or a song.
What is it? What is it?
No, I was saying for anything.
She said he want that old thing back.
No, it wasn't even that. It wasn't. I don't think
he
it
need
was
a job reference. Peggy said he need a job reference.
Oh, let's talk about that part.
Peggy,
You got to have a good job. Ain't gonna be no girl. I'm in between jobs now.
No.
Oh, ain't gonna be
Felicia. So you talked about like meeting somebody like recently or whatever, and that made me think of this guy that I met not too long. Well, this was like I met him last year. So he said that he had relocated from the West Coast. He was working in Northern Virginia. And he had a job and all this stuff or whatever, but he didn't have a car at the time because he had just relocated. And he had been in like a real bad car accident or something to that effect. And he actually wasn't physically able to drive, at that time. So I'm like, okay, because that is possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, then later on, he starts to tell me that like, yeah, well, since I just relocated here, I'm, living, in employment housing. And I'm like, what the fuck is employment housing? What's employment housing?
Short-term housing.
Right. Because I'm like,
right?
not in the military, dog. What you talking about? So he's staying in a hotel, so I'm just like, all right. Right. Because my thing is like all of those things could have been true. But it's like, why are you trying to date somebody right now? Get your affairs in order. And the straw that broke the camel's back for me when I stopped talking to him was he had called me one day. It was like before the time he gets off work. And so I was like, okay. We were just talking with her. I was like, oh, I said, did you get off early or whatever? Why he was like, oh, well, they let me go today. I got, laid off today, but my, recruiter is already, getting me some interviews somewhere else. And I was like, oh, okay. And we talked for a few more minutes. And I was like, yeah, let me call you back. And I never called him back. I never responded to anything because I'm just like, no, sir. That's too much.
Sharita, what you said?
I gotta go. Okay, Look,
Ernest said the HR got the employment housing is not a thing.
And you know what, Ernest? Employment housing can be a thing. But when it comes to job, car, and housing, you can only have one thing, baby. One thing.
Right.
It's a struggle, sir. You can't have all three.
I'll be like, you lost your job. I'm so sorry. I gotta go wash my dog. I'll call you right back.
I'm like, look, I gotta go vacuum this sand off the beach, and as soon as I finish, I'll call you back.
I gotta go wash my dog.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go vacuum the grass.
Oh, maybe he was a client, but
or future client.
And but you know what? This happened over the span of like 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days.
Well, what made you keep talking to him?
Well, I said it on the phone. Well, I said it happened over the course of 3 to 4 days. That's how long.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was like, no.
I'm scared of extended stay. So once you tell me you an extended stay, I can't.
He may have been in a halfway house. I don't know where. Listen, look, we'll never know.
Oh, he said you should have referred him to 3 counselors. Oh, that's my
yes, he could get
a halfway house. I agree with you, Nicole.
Exactly, Peggy, and that was my thing. I was just like,
not a halfway house.
You shouldn't be trying to meet people, sir. Like, no. You should not.
Yeah.
You should not be meeting people. You need to
You know what? So I'm gonna say he may have been a man or a person. Well, no, he a man. That he's a mate.
I hope he was a man.
He was. We FaceTime. He was a man.
I hope he was a man.
Wait a minute.
That's a whole nother story.
Well, and that had been used to women maybe taking care of him, and was trying to see what you were going to do.
Oh, okay. Well, he saw what I was going to do. Nothing.
Brothers are accustomed to women being thirsty, and let's talk about that.
But do we tell men
at a certain age?
Right, but some people, y'all got to get yourselves together. Are we telling them like you don't need to be dating right now, or is that like over the top? Like, would you tell somebody, look, I think you need to get you don't need to worry about dating right now. You need to get yourself together.
No, he's not a client. I don't have to give him any advice. All he needs to know is that he can't date me.
Right, exactly.
They old enough to know better, but they gonna try you.
On to the next
they
one.
old enough to know better. They gonna try you.
Yeah,
they gonna try and see how far they can get.
Exactly.
And if they can get somewhere,
72 hours.
I read said Ivania. I think it was Ivania Van Zandt. Iyanla Van Zandt said, "People don't use you. They take advantage of the opportunity." Something to that degree. Like no one gets used. They just taking advantage of an opportunity.
Hey, I'm a roll of dice. She might be with it. I might catch Raven when she's lonely and she feeding and thirsty. Might catch her in a vulnerable state.
Yeah.
But do you find that women over 40 become a little bit more thirsty because they don't think they have enough time?
Yeah,
they're not gonna meet the right person.
Yes, absolutely.
And the ratio of men to women.
Yeah. I can't say that for my friends group. I can't say that for like my friends group, but yes.
We can't either.
Absolutely.
Not in the
about that. Being in the region that I live. So up here, this has been noted, the DMV, Washington, D.C. area, as like the worst places to date. One of the worst places to be single. I mean, to date. I think it's like number 3 in the country or something like that.
Wow.
I don't know. I think Georgia right up there. I think Atlanta right on up there.
Yeah, but DC is definitely the top. It might be number 2. It might be 1 or 2.
It probably is. I could believe that.
Yeah, because for one thing, it's so transient. Like so many people are in and out, and are in and out this region. And I know when I first moved up here, right, I would go out and people, they would ask me for my name. But the second question was, where'd you go to school? What do you do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Where'd you go to school? And almost I've had people who are your parents. So to try and get lineage. So it's about being how connected you are to move up the ladder, like a status for a status situation. So, and the ratio here, because so many women here that are doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say the men aren't, but the women that are doing well far outnumber the men in this region that are doing well. And with that being said, it kind of men just kind of run through. You would think it would be the other way around, but it's not. Like, I wish I had a buddy and we were just talking about this the other day. Like, dating in this region is really, really hard. Here go Ernest. I love DC women. Yeah, it's a reason.
No, they said women
in DC love him.
Wow. Yeah, because it's not like you're dating out of need.
Money.
Yeah, you got money, you have what you need. The per capita income here is like one of the highest in the country, like in the top tier. So you don't have women that need men for the old purposes that you may have needed them for. And so now men know that. So they come with a different agenda. And women now, many women in this region, many, not all, not speaking for everyone, because I can't speak for everyone, but kind of take on this attitude of almost like the men. Or if they don't take on the attitude of the men, they thus as they get older, I see them, it's a numbers game. Yep. And they become like the hunters themselves.
That is, you know what? That is very strange to hear. Who you laughing at?
Peggy said they looking for houses.
Yes,
I mean, Peggy not off. She's not too far off.
Listen, it's about to get cold. They looking for that woman that's gonna have ham hocks in the crock pot.
So let me ask you another question.
To go to work.
Let me ask you another question. So I was in this category, but my ex, he was a good guy. How many of y'all see women our age dating men that are far younger than them?
What's far younger?
What's far younger?
Yeah, what's far? Define far. Now, when you talking teenage girls, how old are we talking? In my R. Kelly voice.
Well, my ex-husband was 10 years younger than me.
Who said that?
Peggy said that.
My ham hocks.
Not ham hocks.
Raven said a ham hock in the crock pot.
You young girls don't know how to put that food in the crock pot.
We can't carry on our podcast because we cracking up.
Wait a minute.
You know, some men like to come home, they like to smell dinner cooking when they come home.
Wait a minute. Y'all got stuck. Wait a minute. Y'all got stuck. So I don't know nothing. Where the ham hocks come from?
I don't know.
I think I was stuck for a minute.
No, I said that earlier.
Where the ham hocks come from?
Peggy said they looking for houses.
And then I said that I said it's about to get cold. They looking for somebody to stay with that's gonna have some ham hocks in the crock pot if they need to go to work. Come home with a little dinner cooking.
I missed that altogether.
Yeah, that's why we cracking up.
I know where he's going back. Ham hock.
I was like, this little boy asked me that I want to be his sugar mama. Did I want to be his sugar mama? I'm like, absolutely not.
You know what, Tonya? So I'm gonna say this. I have heard a lot of horror stories about dudes like trying to like live off of women and stuff, but I have not really met too many people like that personally. And actually, you're talking about like the guys in DC. That is just so far from the experience that I had. Well, I lived in DC in like between 2001. Yeah, 2001, 2002. Yeah, 2004. And I had a ball dating. I dated so many different people. I didn't have that issue at all, but that was 20 years ago. But almost 20 years ago.
Dating in this area is fantastic, right?
Yeah, I never met. I didn't meet anyone like that.
It's the settling down part.
Yeah,
that part. I can go out 3 times a day if I wanted to. And that's no exaggeration. But
yeah, I believe that.
It's the consistency. Finding someone that's going to be consistent, and then finding someone who's taking dating seriously.
Okay.
Dating, being monogamous seriously. Like, there are a lot of serial daters. There are a lot of serial daters. And I think honestly that with the different ways in which we meet people and that we connect, that connection is we're kind of losing it. I don't think.
Do y'all go on dating sites?
I do.
I have.
I have too. So I think
there's this. I think it was a study recently that came out that said that like 70% of like new relationships have been initiated online. That's just how people do, and not necessarily on dating sites. Like people be trying to holler at you on Instagram, on Facebook,
sliding your DM.
Right, like people.
I'm scared of those ones though. unless I know somebody that know you.
Right. Well, that's usually what it is. They'll see you comment, somewhere, or they'll see you on somebody else's page, and then they'll send you their phone number or their say whatever. But it doesn't really scare me because that's just how people communicate, now. I mean, you can meet crazy
people out there.
Crazy people are everywhere, though. It don't matter where you meet them. If someone is intent on being crazy and meeting you or meeting someone, they're gonna meet you, whether it's online, at the club, and at the grocery store. If your intentions or whatever they are,
back there behind you, Sharita.
No, Felicia and I did the same thing. Like we're gonna lean.
I already saw.
Bring him
it's the
on
crap
camera.
Starter. That's
right.
The stalker.
He was trying to get his 2 minutes of shine. Let me get in this camera.
He probably sending a message right now.
Yeah, he's sending a message right now, probably.
Yeah, you're right, Ernest. I mean, it is convenient. You can order you a little boo thing. You can order you some DoorDash, get you some stuff off Amazon, and then you get, oh my God, he said he cooking ham hocks.
Right. You can get your ham hocks. You can
no, Ernest. He was supposed to start cooking his ham hocks this morning.
And a date in the same 5 minutes, right at your work desk.
You gotta start cooking ham hocks. Well, yeah. Well, you gonna have to eat.
Well, look, ladies, we're gonna open it up to the audience for a few minutes. We only got a few more minutes, and we're gonna end this. But our audience out there, it's been joke time. We've been sending up little jokes or whatever. But ask them some questions. Ask Tonya, Raven. I'll answer some questions. About this dating over 40 thing. What is it? Is it fun? Is it interesting? Do you enjoy it more than back then? Like we said, you're a little bit more knowledgeable of yourself and of what you want. You still open. Some of us don't want no kids.
Right, and our kids are grown and gone.
Raven don't mind. So if it's a guy out there with a baby, she don't mind.
That's a lie.
Right. A lie. So if y'all have any questions,
look, Felicia,
Raven said, "Babies, it's all good."
Lies.
Y'all tripping about these ham hocks. Ernest,
I don't cook. Yeah, I don't cook ham hocks.
Raven, you got ham. Ernest want to know if you got some ham hocks, Raven.
No, I don't cook ham hocks.
He don't mean your thighs.
No question. Now everybody quiet. They don't have no questions now.
I had a lot of commentary, but not questions. Right.
They had a lot of comments, but no questions. So we did answer some questions along the way.
Who is taking a man out on a date?
But we truly.
I mean, I would have said I would.
Can we hook y'all up? Look, can we hook y'all up?
Oh, man.
I went on a couple of days. I went on a couple of dates earlier this year that went to school with y'all. She was 46 and still wanted a thug. I asked her, when does that end for women? She said never.
I've never liked thugs.
Well, we do want somebody that's a little.
So, I got a little bad boy, and
I want to.
Yeah, not a thug.
He gotta have a little bad boy.
I want him to be able to fight. He got to be able to fight.
You right about that. She gonna run.
I'm gonna run.
She running. She getting. Yeah, she's flying.
I don't want him to. I don't want him to run. I don't want him to fight. I want him to have a little something on his side to take care of.
A little something on the side too.
Yeah.
I want somebody to tell me sometimes what to do. Like sometimes I need to be told, Tonya, just shut up. And I got this. Shut up. And because for so long I had to do it. I had to have the questions and the answers.
Sometimes you don't want to think.
I don't
right.
Sometimes you don't want to think. I told a friend that I don't want to think.
Yeah. I need you to have enough backbone
because listen,
to tell me what to do. Now I'm gonna fight you. I'll probably be a little aggressive, But if you stand your ground, I'd be like, all right, then.
Yeah, I don't want to.
All right, Debo.
Don't want to push over.
All right, then. Okay.
We
got
don't want to push over.
But listen, at this age, you're an alpha woman. You've been single. You've been doing everything on your own. Sometimes I just want a man I just want to sit down and say, I don't want to think. Baby, what you want to do now? You just surprise me. Surprise me. I don't.
What do you say that to him? Let him know that, or you just expect for him to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. I've said
Let
it.
him know.
I've said it.
Tell him.
I've said it.
I threatened someone to disrespect my fiance. She got mad at me, told me I disrespected her house. Remember that, Felicia?
That wasn't me.
So you
I remember?
So you bulked up and you tried to take control, Ernest, and then the woman got on you and told you, calm down.
When I think something like that, and I'm not, we're not going there, but I don't think she probably was all the way done with that other relationship.
Exactly.
I ain't said it, but yeah.
I know what what I'm saying. I don't think if somebody does that and they are going to disrespect you for another person, or they're not done with that.
I don't think so either. Nicola said she would have broke up with her. You should have let you, but wait a minute though. But you know what? We need to bring Ernest on, because Ernest is the type of person you could tell him, Ernest, listen, you need to leave that alone. You deserve better than that. And he, just like us, gonna still go back until he just get enough.
Yeah, I think that's all. I mean, come on, y'all know me. Y'all know what I've been.
So
throw your head up, Alicia. I don't need you to drop your head.
So when y'all go out on these dates, are men expecting sex?
I love you, boo. I love you, boo.
Yeah.
Are these men expecting sex at the end?
Say
of the
what?
date?
Yeah, they want it
on the first day.
At the end of the,
I mean, that's
the
amazing.
second day, first day. Yeah.
They want sex over the phone.
They probably want it.
Yeah,
but whether they gonna get it or not,
right?
Yeah, I think that's a man being a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Well, that's true.
That's the truth.
Do y'all?
Maybe
let's talk
we
about
need
this.
to bring some men over here dating over 40.
Sexual liberation in your 40s.
Oh, sexual liberation.
Explain that.
Okay.
Explain that.
Like, so if you want to on the first date, does that make you a hoe?
No.
No.
I don't think it makes you a hoe at any age.
Okay.
Well, that ain't liberation just over 40. I mean,
sometimes you get caught
20s,
up
your 30s.
I think sometimes you get caught up on what society says, that I'm supposed to play by these rules.
Yeah.
And the rule book says they have a whole book of multiple books on this 90-day rule. So
I don't know who weighed 90 days.
I don't remember you ever playing by no rules.
I
ain't talking about me.
I wanted to wait 90 days.
In society. I mean, and what you not gonna do in society, though,
okay.
But as some,
I agree with that. Society puts rules out there.
Yeah,
for women, just for women, not for men.
Just for women, right? And
look, I ain't a hoe, but I got whole tendencies. I ain't a hoe, but I got whole tendencies.
But after when you get to a certain age, I don't know. I'm at a point like freak the rules for me, if that's what I feel like doing.
What rules are there at this age? Your rules are what you set for your life.
What I set for myself, and I've broken the rules. I've broken my own rules that I've had in this new phase of my life.
But you got to be able to live with it.
Yeah, and I'm fine. I'm fine.
You got to be able to live with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fine.
It's
That's
your
true,
rules. It's
Candid.
your
That's
life.
true. Yeah.
I love you to death. You like my sister, but guess what?
Yeah.
I'm not living your life.
Exactly.
I might tell you I don't agree with something, but I'm not living your life.
Yeah. So I think, you get to a point of, I don't know, like liberation. Like no longer am I living for my daughter, for raising a daughter. My mom passed. So my mom and my father. So I don't have anything to prove to anyone other than me. I don't have a standard to uphold to anyone but me at this point in my life.
That's Trina. I need to try it early on to see if I'm
I
going
need
to
to
continue
try
dating.
it early on the
to see if I'm going to continue.
Because what if you get to that point? What if you get to that point where you so enthralled with this man and and you open the package and
and then how can you not if you're so enthralled with somebody, you're gonna want to be intimate with them. Like that's like the next step.
Right, agree. But we get caught in maybe some and old school, because young girls now, they don't give a damn about none of that.
No.
The girl, I mean, it's like the age of the young woman right now. And I work with young girls and they don't care. They running the men. They running these boys. And you listen to the music. Young women in their 20s, they will dump you so fast and move on to the next one, the next hour, not even the next day, the next hour, they will move on. But, it's us kind of that grew up with this mindset of, our parents, the information that our parents.
Culture. Yeah, purity culture.
Yeah. Okay. Purity culture. Yeah. That
was only marketed to girls.
Yep.
Not boys.
And particularly, I hate to say it, women of color. Because white girls live by a different code.
They sure do.
Yeah, they always
ask Ernest.
Yeah. Oh, Ernest, you can chime in.
Ask Ernest.
Yeah. White girls live by a different code.
Ernest, you can like what you want, Ernest. That's on you.
Quit it, Felicia.
Does he want to run his mouth? Ask Ernest.
We're gonna bring Ernest on next time. I think we need to bring him.
I think we're gonna do a part 2. We're gonna ask men over 40 what they want and how they
only dated one. Ernest, stop lying. You got one over there.
Only that's a lie. You shouldn't tell.
I won't even call him out. I'm gonna keep my mouth closed. No, like you said, Ernest.
In my head.
That's
so
what
do you have you dated outside the race, Raven? You haven't?
I'm not interested in Caucasian men.
It don't have to be Caucasian. He could be Chinese, Japanese, African.
I would date someone Latino, maybe Asian. Caucasian, no.
You, Tonya, dated outside the race?
Well, what happened was this I've dated, Hispanic, not Asian, but all parts of Africa, Caribbean, various parts of the Caribbean. Now, I'm not, just because I'm saying I'm dating, I'm definitely one. I'm not sleeping around. Let me put that out there. Hotels is not where I'm at. But as it relates to dating them, yeah, I have. Now, I went out with this white guy once a while back. We had a great conversation. Like, we used to talk. He was great. He was a lawyer up here doing, he was great. Like, the conversation was great. And then we went out, and I was expecting it to be almost like the way it was on the phone. Like, it was just fine. But when we were leaving, he got real handsy. Right? He got real handsy.
He was trying to tell you he wanted something.
Right. So the way I the way I took that is like you were. What you said, Raven?
He was trying to inform you of what he saw in the future.
Some of that brown sugar, right? And I wasn't meant to. I'm like, no, because what my mind immediately went back to is that, like, you wanted to have an experience with a Black woman. It wasn't necessary. I don't know if it was about me or not, but I don't know. Maybe it have been preconceived thoughts of my own thoughts. I was like, oh hell no! Why you come out here and you trying to get handsy with me? And my mind went immediately to, like, you're trying to feel some fixation. So that was the only time I went out with a white guy.
Okay. Well, ladies, we truly, I mean, this has been fun. And our audience has thought that it was fun too, because they've been chiming in. I absolutely love it. But one of the things I was thinking of, Red, is that we need to get some men on here over 40 and ask them, same questions, because that helps our women. We're Inspire Her. We love to inspire the total woman. So why not help our women over 40 understand what a man over 40 is looking for? So we might add that on to a future show, a part 2. But we want to thank you, Raven and Tonya, for coming out here and being totally open with us, sharing your idea of dating over 40. We truly appreciate it. We love the fact that you were very open, very willing to be no holds barred. And we hope you guys find that one if you're looking for that one. We want you to find that one. And Raven, I hope you find like a man with a 10-year-old versus the baby. But
no children at all, Raven.
Hopefully you guys find that one.
Yeah, maybe 15, 11, I don't know.
That'll fulfill your life.
Yeah, prefer they're out of the house.
Ernest had something to say.
So, guys, are there any? Ernest is so crazy. Are there any last thoughts that you guys want to discuss with our audience, Raven?
And what advice would you give to a woman out there on the dating scene over 40?
Have fun,
right?
Until it ain't fun no more.
Ooh, yeah.
Have fun until it ain't fun no more. And when it stops being fun, don't be afraid to like pull back, get yourself together, and then kind of like get back, in the game. Because if you're not having fun while you're dating, it's like a job, another job. And who wants to work outside of work?
Tonya, good advice, Raven.
I mean, Raven kind of took what I was going to say. Keep, if it doesn't make you feel good, don't do it. And that's in all aspects of it. If you don't feel that part too, if it doesn't make you feel good, then just don't do it. I think I always say, I had a girlfriend tell me once recently, like, you always say, live in your truth. And that's what I mean. Live in your truth. Live in your truth. And your truth may be different than yours, than everyone on this call, in this podcast, even watching it. But if I stay authentic to myself, regardless of what it looks like to anyone, and I'm having a good time in doing it, then that's my story to write, not anyone else's.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you, ladies.
I totally agree. Well, guys, listen, we want you, our audience, to like, share. Please share. Please comment. Even when you share, comment on whether you like our podcast, whether you suggest that other people listen. That's how we want to grow organically, through your comments. And we got a comment today at how well a woman thought that we were doing, and the information that we're giving out are helping women along the way. So that's what we want to continue to do, is to bring you fun, entertaining topics, but we also want to inspire you as much as we can. So please comment. You can give us topics and we will, see if it fits. But tonight was awesome, and we want to make sure that you guys enjoyed it. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, ladies. Good night.
Thank you for having me.
Good night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We are here to inspire her, the total woman.
Yeah.